Clouds, Between Utopia and Dystopia, a collection of telltales from Val's Sanctuary of Creativity. Today is a spring day full of natural peace. Above me, a blue sky with some cumulus or fair weather clouds. They develop on clear sunny days. A cardinal is sitting on baby green, newly leafed branches, heralding in a new cycle of life. There are birds chirping, and the robins are preparing their nest. I'm just taking it all in, sitting in the backyard until the streaks appear in the sky. And I'm already anticipating the haze that will soon follow. This is the moment when I reach for my pen. It has become very difficult, at times impossible, to predict the weather. Most people rely on the meteorologist in a studio, working on a map to tell them the outlook, at times even weeks in advance. Their forecasts depend on satellite, radar, surface maps, and other modern technologies. There is also Google and weather apps. Earlier on came the radio to make people reliant on experts to guide them through the weather predictions. Weather forecasts like the news and entertainment was a big part of radio then. I remember how back home, back when, we used to look at the sky for its revelations. Afterglow at dusk was a beautiful weather messenger. Afterglow in the morning was a bad weather messenger. The forms and directions of where the clouds were heading was also of significance. We would wet our index finger and raise it into the air to feel from which direction the wind is blowing. Then there was the cycle of the moon that spoke to the elders and farmers. A beloved source of reference for many, the Farmer's Almanac, registered weather patterns throughout the years. Then there is the wisdom of the birds and animals. Nature spoke in riddles that for the most part was collectively understood. And so it was in my environment. The weather was just like a member of the family, sometimes moody, but loved and wanted in most ways. I enjoy watching clouds. When they move fast across the sky and clear the air, when the sun peeks out behind them, or when they hang heavy. I delight in the different formations. Cirrus, stratus, nimbus, there are many, and they have names. And when they show me a face or a story, I always wish I had a camera with me. I used to fly high above them and through them on my travels over the world's lands and seas. Today, our basic sustenance, air and water, is being played with. The weather and its natural cycle are manipulated through cloud seeding and organizations like HAARP that utilize powerful radio waves to heat the ionospheric plasma or Earth's upper atmosphere. How can that not influence the weather? The skies, our atmosphere, the link between the sun and water is being invaded through cloud seeding, and chemtrails masked as contrails. If we look up, we can see the random webbing of the sky. It is said that the streaks are condensation formations from airplanes, but in the meanwhile, pilots have been interviewed and they have confirmed and disclosed how cloud seeding is carried out. Weather interference and manipulation has made our planet a dangerous and costly place to live in. There are reports of flocks of birds falling from the sky, fish stranded on the shores, deceased bees, crops failing, people deprived of vitamin D, and I could go on, suicides and other social maladies. Natural disasters and fear of them are also big business. People prepare and rebuild until they can't afford to anymore. Then migration and homelessness follows. Recently, I read that world governments have killed thousands and many hundreds of thousands of people in the 20th century. Is it true? I, for one, do not know how many. And what do we really know anyway? Look at our world. Do you think there is more going on than what meets the eye? Why do the Georgia Guidestones proclaim that 500 million people are all that our Earth can sustain? Who comes up with this stuff? I am all for science and technology, just not when they are being used as weapons against humanity. Not when all common sense and transparency is missing. Government overreach, pseudosciences, corporate greed, and propaganda are real. They have always existed. Can we trust the government, science, corporations, and their propaganda? Totally up to each one of us. I see dark clouds hanging over humanity, but the sun will shine through in the end. Let's wake up and stop this crap. I am still sitting on the bench in the backyard. After all, it is a beautiful, now hazy spring day, and the birds and the trees are in preparation for a new cycle. A few afterwards, cloud seeding is a type of weather modification that aims to change the amount or type of precipitation that falls from clouds by dispersing substances into the air that serve as cloud condensation or ice nuclei, which alter the microphysical processes within the cloud. Chemtrails refers to the theory that government or other parties are engaged in a secret program to add toxic chemicals to the atmosphere from aircraft in a way that forms visible plumes in the sky, somewhat similar to contrails. Various different motivations for this alleged spraying are speculated, including sterilization, reduction of life expectancy, mind control, and weather control.